Quite the jump in the uranium stocks today after a surprise hike in extraction taxes in Kazakhstan. Denison Mines, one of the stocks surging today. Let's get more on this and other movers. We're joined by Bloomberg's Stephanie Hughes. Hi, Stephanie. This morning, those uranium stocks were topping the gainers list.
Yeah, and they still are, Andy. It's been an impressive jump. So Denison Mines, those shares were up as much as 10% today. That was the biggest intraday gain since January. And like you mentioned, right off the top, that all comes down to all of the uranium stocks gaining today because of the extraction taxes, surprise hike on extraction taxes in Kazakhstan. As we know, it's the largest producer of uranium worldwide. BMO Capital Markets said that this will limit some supply growth in the future, which in a supply and demand imbalance would put some upward price pressure on uranium. So gives those uranium stocks a chance to rally. The BMO analysts also added that this was a surprise because those taxes were already increased in 2023. So I guess we're just seeing it again this year. Cameco was another high flyer among the uranium stocks. So it was interesting to see Cameco and Denison sort of fight for the top spot on the best performers list on the TSX. So investors are getting glowing reviews for uranium stocks. I'm also looking at TMX Group. Those shares were as much as 4.5%, which was enough to bring that stock up to all-time highs. And this came after a Barclays analyst raised the price target on the exchange operator to $40, saying that Bay Street expectations heading into the second quarter are a little light in his opinion. He's more so pointing to derivatives revenues that he expects will beat expectations when the company reports after the hours at the end of the month. He also added that the equity financing stats for the maximum build transactions and just transactions in total are trending higher on a quarterly basis. So that's another boon in their favor. And he added that additional listings revenues could pick up. Now, he does add a caveat that these revenue sources tend to be a bit volatile, but all in all, he seems pretty constructive on TMX Group there, Andy.
There's an interesting story in the Financial Post relating to TMX. As you know, the government has said it's going to look very hard at takeovers of Canadian mining companies and critical minerals in future. Dean McPherson, the head of global mining at TMX, quoted by the Post as saying, it's extremely troubling because they're worried. The worry here is that it'll cut miners' access to capital. If they're not potential takeover targets, it'll depress the share prices. So it's interesting, TMX Group concerned here about that.
Yeah, and we were looking at just this plunge in deal-making in general. But what was interesting about TMX Group over the past couple of years is that they've actually been pivoting to be more of a data service as well. Right. So it's like they're trying to roll with the punches there. But yeah, very interesting stuff there, Andy.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. It's always great hearing from you. Bloomberg's Stephanie Hughes. Up